I speak now as someone born into light and silence, trained to measure every breath, yet undone completely by love. Because loving you has made me braver than any crown ever could. There is a hush that follows my thoughts of you, a royal stillness where my pulse confesses everything my lips once guarded. I have no hesitation in saying this. You arrived like a truth I could not rehearse, and suddenly the world began to lean closer, as if even destiny wished to hear my heart explain itself. I carry myself with grace because I must, but loving you has taught me how to kneel inwardly, how to honor something greater than duty, something tender, trembling, and endlessly alive. From the first moment your presence disturbed my ordered days, I felt a suspense I could not name, a sweet unease that lingered like a held breath before a vow. You did not demand my attention. You earned it by simply being, by allowing your soul to stand unarmored before mine. I learned then that importance is not loud. It is persistent, patient, and impossibly gentle. Even now, I wait for your voice the way dawn waits for the horizon, knowing it will arrive, knowing it will change the color of everything once it does. There are nights when I walk through the corridors of my thoughts, silken and echoing, and every step carries your name. You are written into my pauses, into the way my heart slows when I imagine your hands steadying my fears. I was raised to understand legacy, but you taught me intimacy. The quiet revolution of two spirits choosing each other without witnesses. I have no hesitation in saying this. My strength has learned your shape, and my courage now answers to your smile. Loving you is an act of suspense, because I never know which part of you will undo me next. Your kindness, your fire, or the way you see through my composure, as if it were glass. I remain poised before the world, yet inside I am always moving toward you, crossing invisible distances with faith alone. You are important to me, because you make truth feel safe, because you listen not to my title, but to my trembling humanity. I once believed love would arrive like ceremony, announced and formal, but you came like a whisper that refused to be ignored. You waited nowhere obvious, and still I found you everywhere. In your presence, my future softened, ambition learned how to breathe. I have no hesitation in saying this. If my heart were a kingdom, you would be the reason its borders stayed open, welcoming hope instead of fear. Sometimes I fear how deeply you matter, how thoroughly you inhabit my becoming. Yet even fear feels sacred when it is shared with you. You hold my doubts as if they are precious, never diminishing them, never rushing me beyond myself. That is how I know this is real, because love with you does not erase who I am, it refines me. I have learned the art of waiting from you, the discipline of longing without despair. Each moment apart sharpens my awareness of what we are building, something slow and enduring. I stand in suspense, not because I am uncertain, but because anticipation has become another way of loving you. When the world asks for my certainty, I give them composure. When my heart asks for honesty, I give it your name. You are important to me because you are where my resolve rests when the day is heavy. I have no hesitation in saying this. Your existence steadies my crownless self. There is a tenderness in how you remain, even when I am quiet, even when duty steals my hours. You do not compete with my responsibilities. You accompany them, turning obligation into purpose. Loving you feels like choosing the same truth every day, and finding it new each time. I carry you with me through public smiles and private doubts, through lessons learned and mistakes forgiven. You are the pause that reminds me I am more than what I represent. You are important because you allow me to be unfinished, still becoming, still dreaming beyond protocol. Sometimes I imagine telling you everything at once, letting my guarded eloquence fall apart in your arms. That moment always waits, suspended, perfect in its delay. Suspense, I have learned, is not absence. It is devotion learning patience. I have no hesitation in saying this: loving you has rearranged my values without asking permission. What once seemed essential now bows to the simple truth of wanting your happiness alongside mine. You matter because you do not ask to be central. You simply are. Your presence has taught me how intimacy survives restraint, how passion can be both fierce and dignified. I am not less royal for loving you, I am more human. And that humanity feels like the greatest inheritance I could ever claim. There are words I save only for you, words that do not perform. They wait quietly, the way my heart waits when I sense your nearness. You are important to me because you listen for what I do not yet know how to say. I live between words, ceremony and longing, and you are the bridge that does not sway. With you I am not divided. I have no hesitation in saying this. You are the continuity my soul was missing. Each time I choose you inwardly, I feel the suspense soften into certainty. Love does not rush me, it steadies me. You are important because you make patience feel like a promise, not a delay. If love were a vow spoken only in silence, mine would still echo your name. You have become the quiet anthem beneath my days, the reason my nights feel held instead of empty. I do not know how the future will unfold, but I know how my heart answers now. It answers to you, without fear, without disguise. I have no hesitation in saying this: you are not a chapter, you are the meaning. Even in stillness, you move me. Even in distance, you remain close. That is why you are so important to me. Not because love is dramatic, but because with you, it is true. And so I stand here, poised and unguarded, offering this truth without spectacle. Loving you is my most private certainty, my most beautiful suspense, and the choice I would make again, before the world ever knew my name. I wake each day with your presence already folded into my breath, as though my heart learned your rhythm, before it learned the hour. There is a quiet anticipation that lives beneath my composure, a suspense that hums softly while I perform the rituals expected of me. I have no hesitation in saying this: loving you has given my mornings a secret meaning, one that belongs only to us, one that steadies me before the world asks for my poise again. You are important to me because you recognize the weight I carry without ever trying to lift it away. Instead, you stand beside me, offering your strength not as rescue but as companionship. In that simple act, you honor who I am becoming. I feel seen by you in ways no mirror or audience could ever accomplish, and that recognition lingers long after our words fall silent. There is a suspense in how I miss you, a gentle ache that does not wound but deepens my capacity to feel. I hold that longing carefully, like a promise still unfolding. You have taught me that desire does not need urgency to be sincere, that patience can be as intimate as touch. I have no hesitation in saying this: the waiting itself has become a form of devotion. When I speak formally, when my voice is measured and my smile practiced, you are the truth beneath it all. You remind me that even a life shaped by tradition can still belong to the heart. You are important because you never ask me to abandon my world. You simply make room for yourself within it, transforming it from the inside. Sometimes I imagine your thoughts reaching for mine across distance and duty, meeting me in the spaces where I am most myself. That invisible meeting is where my courage renews itself. Loving you feels like standing on the edge of revelation, suspended between what is known and what is yet to be confessed. I have no hesitation in saying this. You have become the place where my doubts rest. When uncertainty presses close, your presence, real or remembered, becomes my reassurance. You do not silence my fears. You listen to them until they soften, until they no longer frighten me. You are important to me because you understand restraint without mistaking it for distance. You know that what I hold back is not absence but intention. Every unspoken word gathers meaning, every pause grows heavier with affection. Suspense with you is not a threat, it is a promise learning how to endure. In your eyes, I am neither elevated nor diminished. I am simply allowed. That permission is rarer than admiration, and far more powerful. I carry it with me when expectations crowd close, reminding myself that somewhere, someone loves me without condition or agenda. I have learned from you that tenderness does not weaken authority, it refines it. Loving you has made me more attentive, more precise, more alive to the quiet truths others overlook. I have no hesitation in saying this. My heart is stronger because it has chosen you. There are moments when the future feels vast and undefined, when my path stretches forward with ceremonial certainty but personal mystery. In those moments, you are my human compass. You do not point me toward outcomes, you remind me of values. That is why you matter so deeply. You are important because you allow love to be slow. You do not rush toward declarations or demand assurances. You let feeling ripen naturally, trusting its depth. That patience has taught me more about commitment than any vow ever could. I exist in a constant state of becoming, and you witness that process without impatience. You do not require me to be finished to be loved. I have no hesitation in saying this. Your acceptance has become one of my greatest freedoms. Sometimes I sense the weight of everything I am expected to be, and I feel it press against my chest. In those moments, thinking of you becomes an act of relief. You remind me that beyond titles and futures, I am still someone worthy of affection simply for existing. You are important to me because you listen not only to my words, but to the silences between them. You hear what restraint conceals and respect it all the same. That respect deepens my trust, turning affection into something enduring. I hold our connection carefully, aware of its significance, aware of its fragility. There is suspense in protecting something so precious, while allowing it to grow. Yet even that carefulness feels sacred, because it is motivated by love, not fear. I have no hesitation in saying this. If my life were stripped of ceremony, you would remain essential. You are not attached to my role, you are attached to my spirit. That distinction is everything. When I imagine joy, it no longer appears as spectacle or triumph. It appears quietly, in moments where your presence aligns with my peace. That is how I know this love is real. It feels sustainable, not consuming. You are important because you allow me to imagine a future that includes softness alongside responsibility. With you, ambition does not eclipse affection, it coexists with it. That balance feels like grace. There is still so much unsaid between us, and yet nothing feels incomplete. Suspense lives there, gentle and luminous, promising more without demanding it now. I carry that promise with care, honoring its timing. I have no hesitation in saying this. Loving you has taught me how to hope without impatience. You are not merely someone I love. You are someone who has changed how I love. And so I continue forward, composed and devoted, carrying your importance quietly within me. You are the reason my heart remains open, even when my life must remain precise. The reason love feels possible without surrendering who I am.